We will be starting for the webinar after everyone attends to this webinar first. Hi everyone, let's start our webinar for today. So my name is Y. You can call me Y Cheng Shen. I'm from Optimium Solution. Yeah, so today's our topic will be digital transformation on contemporary work environment. So we have our guest here today with us, Chin Fa from iXsystems. We'll be talking about his product later on. We will go through the agenda later on, but for now, I will do a quick introduction for some of the people that who is joining us today and gonna intro themselves. Hold on for a second, yeah. So, thank you for all for joining us. I will be your today's moderator for today's webinar. And so basically, today actually is our first webinar, first hosting for this webinar for partners. And so basically, like I said previously, we have Chinfa from iXsystems, which as a guest, who actually iXsystems actually do computing and storage product and services. And also my company, Optimium Solution, who is a distributor for EasiShare. Thank you again for all of you joining us today. So let me start to intro who's our company, Optimium Solution. Yeah, so basically, we have Mr. Su Chongtek, our director from Optimium Solution. I would like him to say hi to you guys.
Hello, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us for this session. This is our first training session for EasiShare in Malaysia, and especially for all the resellers in Malaysia as well. Yep.
So basically, he's my director for Optimium Solution, and I would like to intro my another guest, which is Max, to say hi to you guys. Max, pass to you.
Hi. Can you hear me? Yep. Hi. This is Max. I'm actually based in Singapore. I'm principal of EasyShare, which together with my distributors today, they are I guess recruiting and or enabling more resellers for the territory of Malaysia. Thanks.
Yeah. So basically, Max here actually is to support me on the Q&A session later on. So basically, before I start, I would like to go through with you guys for today's agenda. So today agenda, we're gonna have a short discussion on the challenges, which is later on my Mr. Su from Optinium Solution gonna talk about that, the challenges. And we have our Alvin Tan from Optinium Solutions to talk about the EasiShare. And Chinfa, which is our guest, will talk about his product, about their features and the introduction. And after that, we will go on to our demo for our EasyShare. We will show it in a short while after the introduction of EasyShare. And the last will be our Q&A section. It will you can, while our presentations goes on, you can actually write down all your Q&A through the chat button, and after that we will collect all those Q&A and we'll answer it later on at the almost the end of the section. So basically, why we create this webinar? Actually, our purpose for this webinar is to create the awareness on the EasyShare and Tuna solutions. We will hear from our speakers on what kind of challenges enterprises are facing, what are the trends are happening, and we will have a short demo session on how EasyShare is used that focus more on security, visibility, and control. Yeah, so basically, I would go to the next slide. I will pass to Mr. Su to talk about the challenges. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you again for joining this session, the first partner training for EasyShare and also iXsystems. I just want to introduce Optinium a little bit. I believe most of you did not hear about us last time. And true enough, we just bring this Optinium live to do business. Optinium actually was one of my company that wasn't doing any business transaction, but we have a coincidence. We have an opportunity to sign up as a distributor with EasiShare from Singapore and to represent them as a distributor in Malaysia. So I'm very honored to do that. And in fact, Optinium, this is how we activate Optinium to start doing business in Malaysia. And EasyShare so far is the only solution that we have, right? So as a distributor, we would like to do as a pure distribution channel. So most of you may be worried because we are not so well known in the market, and there will be people that come to me and ask, are we going to compete with the reseller, for the business and all those things? No, the answer is no. Actually, Optinium is a pure distribution model. We only want to work with reseller. And our role in Malaysia is to assist you all to make you guys successful. And our role is also to provide you the customer lead generation and also the proposal on the technical work and the pre-sales work and also the services that you need or maybe your customer needed to support the system. But we will assure you in 100%, we will not go direct to your customer. Besides that, we will help you to do all the leads generation. If we found any customer that interested, we will rather work with our reseller like you to service the customer and close the deal, right? So again, we wanted to be in a pure distribution channel, right? Okay, now, why we wanted to sign up EasyShare as a start, right? When the whole COVID-19 start getting popular, we all getting shocked is the whole Malaysia actually went into MCO since March. And that has changed a lot of behavior of our working style, right? People start to work from home, people cannot access to office, and therefore they pose a different challenge in IT department, or maybe some of you already talked to your end user. The biggest challenge that everyone face is how to access my data in office while I'm at home, right? And most of the management will have one worry in your mind is, how do we protect those sensitive information while people working from home? And this is exactly what EasiShare is helping your customer to solve the problem, right? We have things like automation, we have remote control, right, to access your file, so that, besides using the firewall, VPN, those methods that you might already know, there is a new way to do that, and which I think Max later will share more technical detail, and you can see even more for our demo session, right? And then based on the cyber threat landscape as well, how do you protect the data to be distributed over to internal people and to external user as well, right? So as the legacy system transition, when we transition from the old style of working to the new style of working, right, we face a lot of challenges. For example, email cannot attach a bigger file when you want to send a large document across the internet. And there are some email servers just refuse to take that kind of attachment. And a lot of email gateway actually suspected those large document has become a virus and refuse to take that and send it to the mail server. That caused a lot of delay in people's working method, right? Caused a lot of delay on that and caused a lot of inconvenience as well, right? So anyhow, when the whole workforce, your IT customer become more mobile, working from home, working from office, we can't differentiate it, and then we don't know when they're working from home or working from office. But either way of working, they are still want to access the sensitive information and maybe critical information in order to finish their work. And this is exactly why we are here to provide you the solution in the easy way, but a secure way to solve the problem, right? After that, okay, with that, yeah, I will pass it on to CS to continue on this. So if you have any further questions about Optimium and also the solution, please feel free to put it into the Q&A session and we will answer that shortly.
Yeah, so thank you, Mr. Su, for the introduction of our company, Optimum Solutions, and also the challenges that we might face or the enterprise are facing, etc., etc. So next, we will go on for the next slides. So, like previously, Mr. Su said, we actually are gonna present from Optimium Solution. We're gonna present about EasiShare, and iXsystems. We're gonna from iXsystems as a guest. We'll present regarding their product called TrueNest. And to not waste time, I would like to welcome our speakers, Alvin Tan, to talk about the EasiShare. Alvin, are you ready? So I will pass on to you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Alvin. I'm from Optimium Solutions. First of all, I would like to share my screen first. CS, you have to allow me to share the screen.
Alvin, you can try.
Okay, so is it all good? You're able to see my screen?
Okay? Yeah, Alvin, all good. Can see.
All right. Okay, so let me talk about some use cases for the EasyShare, right? So we talk about large file transfers. So some of the customer or company, they are facing pain points such as their internal company banning the staff to use the USB drives, to transfer all the files internally. And also they are facing email file attachment size limits like Mr. Su just mentioned earlier. So limit the user to send the file with larger size, right? So, and then also the pain points of using consumer online storages, okay? So for EasyShare, we are able to support large file transfer with basically unlimited size file limit, okay? So allow users able to share the file with, no size limit at all, okay? So in terms of security, so EasyShare, we are able to support encryption, file encryption, and now we support multiple types of architecture design. So for the architecture design, later we will talk about more details, okay? So other than that, we support authenticated access. So basically, EasyShare able to allow the recipient and the sender to share files securely by supporting the two-factor authentication such as OTP, okay. So EasyShare supports seamless interface. So we are not only a single browser mode of file sharing system. We support the desktop application. We support your mobile apps, Android and iOS mobile apps version. And also we support the Outlook add-in. So basically we can share files via EasyShare without without moving on your interface. You can do all the file sharing transaction all in one using your Outlook, okay? So lastly, EasyShare support file audits. So basically for EasyShare, our user able to track who sent to who received the file, when the user sent, when the user received. So every detail that EasyShare is able to provide for our IT users, okay? Okay, so let me just show some example. So this is the use case, one of the real use case from Singapore. So it's from MSIG. So MSIG is actually insurance company. So they are facing challenges such as they need to send or they need to receive the file from their customer. So basically, their customer will send a lot of photos, videos. So these files will be very large in terms of their file size. So EasyShare able to support that. So we support file requests, and then the insurance staff, right? They are able to request a file from their customer. Okay, so the customer able to send their files without any hesitation. Okay. So for our solution, we also support the secure link. So like OTP, I mentioned earlier, OTP. So when the customer receive some files from the insurer, they need to key in their OTP in order to view or download their own files, because insurance files are quite restricted, right? Okay. Okay, other than that, EasyShare also support the secure collaboration. So we are able to make use of the managed folder in EasyShare to provide the multiple users to access in single folder, for example, okay? So other than that, EasyShare support online editing. So online editing means that when the user they are using EasiShare, they are able to edit the file on the spot. So no need to download it and then store into a local PC and then edit and then upload back again. So you can straight away open via EasiShare and then edit. So after edit, the file will be synced to the latest in the EasiShare. Okay, so bottom down there we are mentioned about the no SMB connection. So why do we say that? Is because traditional file sharing technology, they are mostly using SMB. So for EasiShare, we will replace it. So we will use HTTPS protocol as the main protocol to transfer the file. Okay. So other than that, we support check-in and check-out. So for, let's say you have a managed folder. So in a folder, you have multiple users to manage the folder. So for each user, we are able to check out the file and then do some editing, and then after that, we can check in back. So this is avoid duplicating works between all the stuff, right? Okay. Okay, so here's another use case in Sentosa in Singapore. So there are challenges. There are environment banning the SMB protocol. So, and then also they are looking for collaboration for all the folders. Okay, as well as they need to comply with their company security policies. Okay. Okay, so EasiShare able to provide, as I mentioned earlier, the managed folder collaboration. Okay, and then they are able to support multiple types of devices, desktop app version, web browser version, mobile apps version, to let their users to have simple way to do the file sharing transaction. Okay, other than that, they also have the comprehensive file activities, the audit logs. Okay, they're able to track who is sharing the file and all those, as I mentioned earlier. Okay. Okay, so the next one is we talk about smart sync and backup. So our pain points here. So sometimes we are afraid of recovering the file, right? Due to our PC faulty or lost. So EasiShare, we support backup. Okay, so we are able to backup between your local PC and also your EasiShare repository. Okay. Okay, another thing I want to highlight is that EasiShare support Delta Sync. So for Delta Sync, for example, when a user, they are trying to edit the file. So first, they will upload the file to EasiShare. Then in the future, when they want to do some editing, EasiShare will only sync portion of the file. They will not sync every time, they will not sync the whole file. So this will save a lot for the bandwidth consumption in a customer environment. Okay. So yeah, I think that's all for me. Yeah. CS.
All right, thanks, Alvin, from your side. So basically, yeah. So this is their basically the features or introduction of EasiShare. So basically EasiShare is a file sharing platform that provides more security, control, and visibility. So basically, now because of the enterprises are having issues with their security, work from home, so the EasiShare is the solution to maybe can solve your customers' issues. So Alvin, is your site ready for the demo for EasiShare?
Yes, sure. Give me a second. I open up the interface.
All right. So we will move on to our EasyShare's demo. Then after that, we will go back to from our guest Chinfa's side for the iXsystems.
Hi. So able to see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen. Yes.
Okay. So first of all, this is the user interface for EasyShare. So mainly I will highlight on how a normal user, how they operate using EasyShare. So it's very simple, okay? So first of all, as I mentioned, we are not only support multiple, web browser version, we also support desktop version and also mobile apps version. So for this, I will go ahead for the browser version, okay? So on the left side, you can see that there's a lot of folders here. So if your user able to integrate with multiple storage connectors, here we will display all the storage connectors that the user already integrate. Okay, so for now, I only have one. Okay. Okay, so okay. So let me show you on the folder permissions. Okay. So today, let's say when we create a folder, so it's called folder 03. We can assign the folder to multiple users. Okay, so for example, I want to share this folder to CS. So I can let them, I can select him as owner or author or contributor or reader. So what is the differences for this role? Okay, so for owner, basically you can do everything. If I assign CS as owner, basically he can upload the file, he can delete the file, he can edit the file. He also can share this folder to another person. So this is the role of the owner. Okay, so let's say you are the author. Author basically, other than sharing the folder to a third person, you can do anything. So the simple one, upload file, delete file, edit the file. Okay, we also have contributor and also reader. Okay, so let's say I can select him as author in this case. So I can restrict whether I want him to download the file in this particular folder or I do not want him to do that. So if I turn it off, he can only view the file only. He will not able to download, okay? So other than that, we can set the folder expiry time. Let's say I will set 1 week. So 1 week later, this folder will be expiring, okay? We can also auto delete the file, okay? And then we can set a quota. So let's say I want to set two gigabytes, you know, to avoid some users, they are uploading large files that they do not know, right? So, okay. So let's put 2 in this case. Okay, so this is the example of setting the folder permission. Okay, another thing I want to highlight is the document tagging. So on the right side, you will see this. So first of all, this is the sample of Excel file. So on the right side, you will see the text. So for EasiShare, we are able to set the document tagging also. So for example, I can highlight the particular file and then click on the icon here and then select on document tag. So I can assign any tag that I want to assign to the particular file. So let's say in this case, I will assign this tag called marketing. Okay. So actually, we are not only setting the document tagging for the file, because in EasiShare, document tagging support to bind with the policy. So we can set multiple, different types of policy to every different types of document tagging. Okay. Okay. So next, I want to share an example of a normal user, how they want to share the file to external, to another recipient. So for example, today I will click on this file. If I want to share this file to another person, so I'll click on this icon. Okay, I will key in the recipient. So let's say I send to CS. Okay. Before that, I can key in their email address. I can also key in their mobile phone number. Okay, in case if you want to use the OTP function. Okay, so at the bottom here, I can put some description. Okay, I can set the link expiry. So let's say I want to set 1 day. So 1 day later, this link will be expired. And then if CS do not download this file before the expiry time, you're not able to download anymore. Okay, we can turn it on the OTP function, and then I also can set the notification, for example. So in this case, CS, when did he access a file, I can get a notification via email. Okay, I can set number of download attempts. So let's say I want to set 2 times. So after 2 times, you're not able to do that. So at last, I can turn it on the view only mode. So he will only able to view and not able to download the file. And then for the view only mode, EasiShare, we will generate the watermarks inside the document. Okay, so prevent user from screenshot or something. At least there's a watermark there. Okay. Okay, so let me show you the admin view. Okay, so we always highlight on the audit portion, right? So EasiShare, we are able to support admin and user audit reports. So in this case, for this interface right here is the admin audit report. So we are able to trace when, which admin they log in. So other than that, what is their operations? So whether they change any policy or they add any policy, all this will be appear in this admin operation view. So other than that, we also support user audit report. So basically here we show all the users, when did they log in, what is the public IP, and then we can show the file sharing transaction audit logs. So let's say any users, they share files to anyone. So all the transaction will be appear in here. Okay. Other than that, also the file request transaction, file operations, guest operations, manage folder, and also document tags. Okay. Okay, yeah. So basically, this is just a little part of EasyShare demo. Actually, EasyShare able to support more than that. So because for this demo, I am emphasize on a normal single user, how they actually operate the EasyShare. So how easy it is to use the EasyShare to do the file sharing. Yeah. Yeah, back to you, CS.
Thanks for sharing the demo from Alvin. Basically, what Alvin shared actually is just some of the features that EasyShare can do. But if you guys need more on the features, maybe you guys can ask for another presentation. We can do a separate session for you for like we can share with you most of the features what EasyShare can do. But because we are running out of time, so we'll actually provide just a few of the features. Yeah, so basically I will move on to the next. I will invite my guest, Mr. Chin Fa, to talk about his solution. I will share the screen. I will share his screen. Hold on for a moment. Yeah, Shinfa, can you able to share screen?
No. It says host disable participant screen sharing. Okay, I'm good.
Yeah, all right.
Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is well. Thank you for the time to actually join into this webinar that's actually being, organized by Optanium. So I'm actually going to run a bit of slide here. Let me just do the presentation mode. Apparently it's not going through that. Give me a second here.
On the top right, Chinfa. Present on the top right.
Yeah, thanks, Max. Okay, morning everyone. Thank you very much. So my name is Chin Fa. I am the General Manager for Asia Pacific for iXsystems. iXsystems is a enterprise storage solution. And what we're going to talk about today is very specific because we'll talk about the integration of TrueNAS, which is the storage platform that we have, and the specific TrueNAS technology that integrates well with EasyShare, especially with the focus for security. All right, as Alvin has shown, as he has presented, one of the key strengths of the EasyShare is really the enterprise file sync and share secure capabilities. This is something that is, unlike some of the public offerings like Dropbox and Box.net or Microsoft OneDrive and so on. EasyShare is very specific to the private enterprises. And this is very key because we want to actually strengthen this combination of both EasyShare as well as TrueNAS. And I'll share three main features that allows you to actually make it more secure as well. And of course, with the focus of ransomware. All right, so I'm going to start with a picture that scares you a little bit. All right, because this is not a matter of if, but when. Because if you look at the, the pandemic situation, what has happened here is the rise of ransomware is getting much more prevalent, much more rampant. And the biggest problem right now is the workplace is not confined just to the office network, to the firewalls and so on. It has extended into, of course, the working from home, the new workplace. And a lot of organizations are unprepared because they have actually not come to this kind of unprecedented situation, and security becomes a big problem. And the challenges is we have seen so many customers, both Malaysia, Singapore, that has been affected by ransomware, and those are the reported ones, because the ones that hasn't been reported will probably have paid or would have to actually redo most of their work again. All right. So to protect the files that's actually being shared by EasiShare, one of the key things that we have to focus on is this thing called cyber resiliency, the ability for the company to be able to bounce back, to restore a significant part of their business after an incident has happened. All right. So how does TrueNAS, which is the iXsystems storage platform, the brand is called TrueNAS, and EasiShare come together? All right, Elvin might not have shared this, and this is a little bit technical, but basically this is actually the three-tier architecture of EasiShare. So if you look at the column, which is actually on the right-hand side, there's actually three pieces of main component, which is the database server of EasiShare, the application, which is the business logic of EasiShare, as well as the web server. All right, this is the part that actually serves to the multiple web clients, multiple mobile clients, as well as the desktop clients as well. All right, and of course, you can actually work it through the DMZ, the demilitarized zone, that allows it to actually extend it over the firewall into something that is actually able to serve, right, the public internet in a secure way. Now, EasiShare actually fits very well because it requires storage. Now, the storage itself can be something that's internal, but of course, for you to actually expand and scale, the TrueNAS actually fits into this segment. All right. So the TrueNAS is able to serve the three components I've actually described, which is the database server, the app server, as well as the web server. And in addition to that, there's also the storage that's required for the individual's storage or their folders and so on. All right. You might actually set a quota for, let's say, 50 gig per user, right? If you actually add it up, if you have 1,000 users, that's actually quite a bit of storage required already. Now, EasyShare is extremely flexible. All right. It works with SAN, which requires block storage. It works with files. That's where the user files and folders can be shared. And it also works with object storage that allows it to extend beyond the traditional networks. All right. And the TrueNAS platform, even though it says TrueNAS, is able to serve all three. All right. It's able to do block storage based on iSCSI as well as fiber channel. It's able to do NAS, primarily the SMB protocol for Windows, and is also able to serve object storage all in one platform. So this is really a true unified storage technology that's able to serve EasyShare in a very, very integrated way. Now, with that, as we move forward, all right, so how does these three main things actually come together to allow you to actually have resiliency? All right. Now, ransomware, as I mentioned, is not a matter of if, but when, right? Because eventually somebody's going to get something that is involved. Now, assuming that you have user files, and these user files are infected by ransomware. Now, one of the beauty of integrating with TrueNAS is there's a technology called Snapshot that is easily integrated into the Windows file share. Now, assuming if the file is actually encrypted and you're unable to unencrypt it because, unless you pay a ransom, and even if you pay a ransom, you might not get the file back. All right. With the snapshot technology that's integrated with EasyShare, all right, the TrueNAS itself is actually going to be doing an automated backup of the files constantly, depending on the schedule that you set up. All right. Now, in the moment that if you have infected files itself, it's very easy for you to actually recover the file. And I'll show you a screenshot of how it's actually done. It can be done in a matter of seconds, and you have hundreds of files or even thousands of files. It could be just a few minutes for you to actually do this thing called a rollback. All right. So here's a very simple screenshot of your Windows Explorer. And the files that is actually, let's say, assuming the files are being infected are in your network drive. And the network drive is served from the TrueNAS system itself. and snapshot is already running. Now, very easily, you can just pick up the file, do a right click, all right? And then you just go to the previous version tab as is shown in this screenshot. Select the file based on the timestamp. It could be something that is maybe 2 minutes ago. It could be something that was yesterday, depending on how frequent you actually configure your snapshot. And then click on restore. All right. As I mentioned, if the infected file was being restored, all right, a previous version will actually replace the infected file or the encrypted file or the one that was attacked by ransomware. And this can be done in a matter of seconds. And if hundreds of files or even thousands of files, it can be done in a matter of minutes. So this allows you to actually bounce back. All right, as I mentioned, the ability for you to actually restore your business operation. And this is very key to a lot of users that's actually working with files all the time. And as we work with a lot of unstructured data, files is actually one of the ways to go. So this is one solution or one technology that TrueNAS offers, all right, when integrated with EasiShare. The second one, as I mentioned, is something called object storage. Object storage is also in TrueNAS itself, on the TrueNAS platform. It's a technology that's actually quite unique because what it does is it has a concept called immutability. All right. The word that I want to actually highlight is this word here called immutable. Immutable means that it cannot be modified. The nature of object storage means that once it's modified, it's considered a different file. And therefore, because it cannot be modified, it cannot be encrypted by the ransomware itself. This means that the TrueNAS object storage, when integrated with EasiShare, gives you a lot of immutable versions that if they are modified, they cannot be read again, all right, by the EasiShare solution. So this means that there's an extra layer of protection, right, when it's actually being stored inside object storage. And I believe, EasiShare has several use cases that uses object storage as their backend platform for the user files. The third one is, what if the production site? Now in this diagram, I'm actually sharing with you two sites, as of course, when you run the business, you do not want it with one server room, one power supply, one UPS, and so on. Obviously, you want your business to continue to run, especially when you're serving it in a financial institution, for example, or a telco, all right, or even healthcare, for example. All right, all these things require you to consider things like business continuity plans. All right, so in this case, when it's actually integrated with the TrueNAS platform, as you can see, there's actually the production site, which is on your left, and you also have a secondary site, which is on your right. Now, what the TrueNAS system itself is, it has something called the ZFS. ZFS is the name of the file system of TrueNAS. It has active replication. This means that the files that we talked about just now, the database, the app server, the web server itself, can be continuously replicated from the production site to the secondary site. In the event that the production site is unavailable, and as some of you might heard, Google went down this week, and it was actually quite a significant one, right? So obviously, you need to have a business continuity plan in your organization as well. So in this case, I actually put in the logos of EasiShare software, all right? There's a SQL server and the IIS that actually powers the web server as well as part of the .NET part as well. This allows it to run on the production site. And the system, the storage system, the TrueNAS storage system that actually stores all these application files itself will continuously be replicated to the secondary site. In the event, as I mentioned, if this is unavailable, this can be triggered, through a series of process of recovery that allows that service to continue. So this is actually the third technology that I want to highlight, and we integrate, EasiShare with TrueNAS. So we find that, when we do that, is rather frictionless. As you have seen, the integration of snapshot is pretty easy. In fact, you don't even have to do anything because by default, the moment that you actually share the folders from TrueNAS to EasiShare, all right, the snapshot is already been done. All you need to do is probably tweak it because you want to do it more frequently or you do it at a different time, right? At the same time, I also mentioned about object storage because object storage allows you to be immutable. They cannot be tampered. And if they cannot be tampered, they cannot be attacked or encrypted by the ransomware itself. And the third point that I want to highlight here is you have data services of EasiShare that will continue, all right, should the production site becomes unavailable to what I mentioned, the ZFS replication, right? So I truly believe that this is a very good combination. I want to say the word marriage, but it sounds kind of bad. Sorry about that. This is kind of a thing, but it's actually a very good combination that you can actually consider, all right, when we integrate both EasiShare as well as TrueNAS. So let me just summarize and actually conclude about iXsystems and TrueNAS. So the name of the company is actually called iXsystems, and the storage technology that I've actually highlighted to you and the platforms that it runs is actually called TrueNAS. And TrueNAS is really based on several key components. I'll highlight a few. So if you look at the sort of a diagram, that is the column which is actually on your right-hand side, we have anything starting from very small all the way to the very largest M series, right? It could be the mini, which is actually mostly for home use as NAS or SAN, all right? You have the entry level as well as the medium level called the X series, and we have the high end called the actually M series. And this goes up all the way as high as 40 petabytes up to 20 gigabytes per second kind of throughput and over 1 million IOPS. So these are very high-end systems that compete with the enterprise players. Now, if you actually go up the highest point, we actually offer a free software called the TrueNAS Core, right? If you're familiar with something called FreeNAS, this is actually the successor to FreeNAS because 2 months ago, we did a rebranding, all right? The FreeNAS is now called TrueNAS Core. And as you move up into the series, or unfortunately in this diagram, it actually moves down. It's actually talking about the TrueNAS Enterprise. And the TrueNAS Enterprise will run on the X series as well as the M series. And coming very soon is actually the TrueNAS Scale. And this will allow you to actually scale up to thousands of petabytes with thousands of nodes. And this is coming on the second half of next year, all right? So this is something that is a bit about the family of iXsystems TrueNAS storage system. Now, the key thing is the operating system itself, the software, the file system itself is actually open source. All right, it supports anything from hybrid, meaning that it actually supports the normal spinning drive all the way up to 18 terabyte drives. It supports flash drive SSDs that goes up to currently what we have is 7.6 terabyte per SSD. And some of the higher end system will also support something called NVDIMM. Of course, some of you who are in the industry itself have heard of NVMe. NVDIMM is actually another level up, all right, above NVMe, because NVMe is an interface. NVDIMM is an interface that fits into the memory slots. And the key thing about this is the TrueNAS software, as well as the open ZFS file system that is part of it, works very, very well with NVDIMMs. And that's why we are able to accelerate into very high performance, right? So this is an open source solution that has multiple levels of availability and performance, as well as scalability. And of course, we provide enterprise support as well. And all in all, with a little monitor display on the side, we have a solution called TrueCommand, which is actually free up to a certain level, up to 50 drives. And it allows you to actually control as many as 200 systems, all right, using one single pane of glass, all right? And as I mentioned, it supports file, which is the NAS protocol. It supports blocks, which is the SAN protocol, both iSCSI as well as fiber channel. And it supports object storage through the S3 protocol. So I'm not going to go through that, but basically that's a bit about what the solution is about. All right, so the TrueNest platform, I think is actually a very strong integration with EasiShare. So with that, I actually would like to thank you for your time, and I welcome as many questions as possible. All right, back to you, CS.
All right. Thanks, Infa, from your side. So basically, thanks for your explanation on TrueNest. So basically, this is how TrueNest have integrations with EasyShare. And so basically, let's go to our slides. Our next slide will be our Q&A session. If you have any questions, you can just hit the Q&A session below. Yeah. So actually, we have one questions from, yeah. I will need Max to answer this. Yeah.
What's the question, CS?
Yeah, Max. So basically, so the question wait, yeah, so basically the questions. If the external party does not have EasyShare, can we still do file sharing and editing with the third party?
Yeah, I think Chinfa has answered this online earlier.
Yep.
Yes, it is possible, right? To share a file with the external party, even if the external party does not have an EasyShare login. I mean, as you have listened earlier to Alvin Chong, right? And what they have mentioned is that yes, you can actually do file sharing to both in an internal group of people as well as to external. And if you are doing to external, you can optionally enable OTP as well, and a form of authentication where it does not require the external party to log in, but authenticate via a OTP, which is like a six-digit PIN, right? Before they can get access to download the file or view the file. And when viewing the file, as Alvin has showed as well, it will also have watermark embedded into the document. So even if you do take screenshots using your mobile phone cameras and all that, it has always got that watermark to protect the files that they are viewing, right?
Yep. Thanks, Max. So basically, there are a few questions on few questions for me for EasyShare. So basically, one of the question is, what is the key differential of EasyShare compared to with other competitors?
So in terms of, in terms of comparison, EasyShare is not the only solution in the market, right? We do differentiate ourselves using three key principles, right? Control, visibility, we call it SVC, security, visibility, and control. So these are the three guiding factors that we do differentiate ourselves. I think you have also seen some of the things that I've shown in the demo by Alvin, where I think we focus a lot on the audit logs, right? How each and every transaction that happens through EasyShare, whether you are sending a file, whether you're receiving a file, whether you are uploading a file, renaming a file, copying a file, all these transactional activities are logged in EasyShare, right? If you are doing what I have mentioned earlier, a sharing to an external party, right? Even has the external party access the files, right? You will be able to, capture the activities like IP addresses, to a certain extent, from the IP address, you can also know the location of, where this person is accessing the file or downloading the file from. Right.
All right.
I mean, if you need a more detailed comparison against specific solutions, that's where I think the Optimum Solutions team will be able to work with you, right? To provide you with a comparison.
Yeah. We can compare the comparison if you guys need the comparison with other competitors. Also, we have a few questions from one of the audience. Referring to a collaboration like media companies who needs external contribution from their freelancer, can do editing on the same link. Next.
Well, there's no depending on how EasiShare is set up, right? Depending on how the EasiShare environment is set up for both the collaborators, whether they are internal and external. So, in order to to be able to do collaboration or editing, right, on documents, it would be best to enable logins for the collaborators. So in this way, the login using the login to EasiShare, you'll be able to then provision the permissioning. Again, like what Alvin had shown earlier, the permissioning of how a collaborator can be a author, a contributor, or just a reader to the document, right? So if you just want the collaborator to read, to view the document, then just set it as a reader. But if you want the parties, both the parties, to actively collaborate, right, with the ability to add or delete documents, then you will need to set up the appropriate permissioning, right?
Oh, okay. And one more question for EasiShare. Can EasiShare work with existing server? Next.
Existing servers as in
I
mean, if you're talking about,
I assume, yeah.
So I mean
it's like those storage lah. Yeah.
So I mean, if you're talking about can EasiShare be installed or deployed in an existing environment? Yes, definitely, right? EasiShare can definitely be deployed into an existing environment, whether you are running physical servers or even virtual machines, right? This EasiShare has a platform, a software platform, right? Can be deployed on either a physical or a virtual environment.
Yep. So basically, EasiShares can do it lah, right?
Correct.
Correct. Yeah. So basically, this is for EasiShares, and they have questions for Chinfa also.
Okay.
Yep. So basically, the first question is, what is the value proposition of open source storage economics?
I think if you have seen, the open source model works, all right, over the course of 20, 25 years. You have seen how Linux has actually overcome, the proprietary software development model, such as, some of the OS that we know, which is proprietary. And you find that open source itself gives you a better capability, especially when it actually makes the software more resilient, because there's so many people working on it. All right, whether it's actually people that are employed by a company or people that are freelancers or people that is actually in organizations that want to make the software better. So the open source storage, which is actually focused on both the FreeBSD, which is actually the kernel of the TrueNAS, as well as the OpenZFS, which is the file system of the TrueNAS itself. Both are open source. So the capability of open source development model provides a much more resilient. It allows you to pick up, the security gaps much more easy, so bugs get fixed faster. And this is actually proven because TrueNAS itself, the TrueNAS core or the FreeNAS, as it was previously known, has more than 10 million downloads already. All right, and is able to scale from anything from small to very large enterprises. So this is where the open source storage economics, as I would call it, comes into play. And this is very different from some of the proprietary storage vendors that you work with, things that you already know. I'm not going to name the names to give them respect, but you see that the proprietary model will be something that is very archaic or ancient compared to the open source model. So this is how we see it.
All right. Okay, thanks for Jinfa for the explanation. I will move on to the second question. The TrueNAS enterprise platform is interesting because it unifies SAN, NAS, and object storage. What about storage media such as flash storage?
So I've actually mentioned this. Everybody keeps talking about flash storage itself, but there's always what we call price over performance, price over capacity measurement that we have to look at. Of course, we support flash. All right, we support NAND flash, anything from the single level cells all the way up to the tertiary level cells. And we see vendors coming up with the QLCs, and the PLCs are coming as well. So we do support the SSD or the flash drives, as we call it. We support the normal spinning drive, anything from 2 terabytes all the way up to 18 terabytes. And I would also like to make it known is we do not use consumer drives. We only use enterprise drives. And we usually work with Western Digital. And Western Digital has a division called HGST, previously the Hitachi drives. These are the highest reliable drive in the market today. So we work very specifically with the HGST drives for the enterprise series. And I also mentioned that the software itself works very well with memory, right? So besides NVMe, we actually support something called NVDIMMs. And NVDIMMs are special storage that fits into the memory slot of the storage itself. So it becomes at least 10 to 100 times faster than an NVMe drive. So yes, we support anything from all flash to hybrid to just normal drives itself.
All right. And the last question for your side. Many NAS solutions are frequently compromised by ransomware. Can TrueNAS system itself be compromised by ransomware?
So here's the thing. If you look at, and again, I'm not going to name names, right? But if you look at some of the NAS solution that is in the market today, and we see a lot of people in that space, media, entertainment uses a lot of NAS drive, but usually they are not so aware of what the capabilities of those NAS systems are. Now, ransomware itself attacks system itself, and one of the strongest feature of the OpenZFS file system, as I mentioned, this is the key file system inside TrueNAS. What it has is a very unique capability called checksum. Checksum is something like a fingerprint to every block of storage in the TrueNAS. Every time something changes, the fingerprint or the serial number of that block will change as well. So if ransomware modifies that block, then the fingerprint or the checksum will change. That means that when the system reads it and it finds that the checksum is different, this means that this is very likely a block that has been infected. Now, because of this, all right, if the block has been infected, what it does here is it will discard this block. It will throw away this block because it's not something that it doesn't fit into the correct checksum. And it will actually go and get a duplicate block that has the correct checksum. This means that it doesn't allow itself to be infected by ransomware. So this is one of the key capabilities, and we call this a self-healing capabilities. So rather than serving an infected block, it will always serve you a good block. It will never serve you an infected block. So this is a self-healing capability. of the OpenZFS file system inside TrueNAS.
All right. Thank you, Chin-Fa. Thank you, Chin-Fa, for the answers, for the questions. Thank you so much. All right. This is the end for our webinar. Thank you for all for joining us, and thank you our guest Chin-Fa for being a guest to explain on the integration with EasiShare and TrueNAS solutions. So basically, there will be more upcoming webinar that with future we're gonna do it. And also, just to, this is from my side regarding from the Optimium solution. So if you have any inquiry from your customer that wants to know about EasiShare, or we actually can help you support you on the qualification, presentation, or proposals. Or maybe we can do the demo and the POC for your customer also. If your customers has any inquiry, need solution like EasiShare to on security and control or the audit logs, you can look for me. I'm Y from the channel sales for Optimium solution. You can look for me. Yep. Thank you for everyone's time, your time, and thank you for everyone for joining for this webinar. There will be more upcoming webinar. Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.